What if I told you that being poor long-term is a choice? That where you are right now is not your fault, but staying there is your responsibility? Yeah, that's hard to hear, but hear me out. This video isn't about blaming you, it's not about guilt, it's not some rise and grind speech. This is about showing you something most people never see, that there are two paths in life. One leads to survival, the other leads to wealth. And you're choosing one every single day, whether you know it or not. So let me make a promise to you. If you feel stuck financially, if you're tired of being broke and you're ready to change things, I made this video for you. Because once I walk you through what I'm about to show you, the patterns, the shifts, the systems, you won't be able to unsee it. You'll understand why most people never escape poverty, and how to make sure you don't become one of them. You'll finally be able to see the trap and the way out. And no, I'm not selling you a course or telling you to manifest money from the universe. This is practical, tactical, step by step. We're going to talk about why poverty is not just about money, but mindset, the choices you're making without even knowing it, how the rich think completely different from the broke, and what you can start doing today to shift the direction of your life. Because here's the hard truth no one wants to admit. Some people are broke, not because life is unfair, but because they keep choosing the poor path over and over again. And the moment you see that, you can start choosing differently. So if you're interested in this, then you're in the right place. Welcome to Flourish in Wealth, where financial freedom begins. Now I know what you're thinking. If I had a real choice, I wouldn't be broke. But what if I told you, you've been making the wrong choice every day without even realizing it? Let me show you how that's happening. You're making choices even when you think you're not. All right, let's start with the uncomfortable truth. Being broke is not just something that happens to you, it's a series of choices, stacked quietly day by day. And the craziest part? Most of those choices don't even feel like choices, they feel like habits, reactions, normal life. Let me show you what I mean. You wake up already overwhelmed, your phone's buzzing, bills, notifications, that sinking feeling again. So instead of paying your overdue bills first, you say to yourself, let me just get something nice. I've earned it. You open your favorite shopping app, add to cart, $100 dress, or $45 sneakers on sale. You don't even need it, but it gives you that tiny hit of peace for 10 seconds. Boom, $45 gone. You don't even need it, but you're tired, you're stressed, and honestly, you want to look like you're doing okay, not even for you, for other people. You want to walk into work and feel seen. You want to post on Instagram and not feel behind. You want people to think you're fine, even when your account is crying for help. So boom, $45 gone. That's not just spending, that's an emotional transaction. You're not buying shoes, you're buying validation. And here's the scary part, that too is a choice, a quiet, dangerous one. Because when your self-worth is tied to what people think you have, you'll stay broke trying to look rich. You'll spend your future trying to protect an image that isn't even real. And you might think, well, everyone does it, and you know what, you're right, most broke people do. It's not that those things are evil, it's that they're happening on autopilot, no plan, no pause, just vibes. And honestly, that's how people end up poor, while feeling like they never chose it. It's death by 1,000 soft decisions. Here's another one. You tell yourself, I'll start learning how to manage my money next month. I'll look for a better job after the holidays. I'll start saving when I earn more. You just chose to stay the same. But because it feels like procrastination, not a decision, you don't realize you just put your life on hold again. Or this one, you see someone winning, making money, posting success, and instead of asking, what can I learn, you scroll past, you feel envy. You say, must be nice. That too is a choice. It's a choice to protect your ego instead of grow your skill. And look, I'm not saying this to shame you. I'm saying this because I've been there, you know? I've made those exact same choices. The daily ones that feel harmless in the moment, but honestly, they add up to a year of being stuck. I didn't feel like I was choosing poverty. I felt like I was just surviving. That's why I'm telling you, if you want to build wealth, it starts with this one truth you are always choosing. Even when you don't say it out loud, even when you don't write it down, your time is voting, your money is voting, your habits are voting, and your life is collecting the results. The good news, if you want to break free, you have to make a different choice. Not later, not someday, now. Now here's the part that shocks most people. Hard work has nothing to do with wealth. In fact, some of the hardest working people you know are the most broke. So if working more doesn't equal more money, then what actually keeps people poor? The answer to that is this: most broke people aren't broke because they're lazy. Let's get that straight right now. Poor people are some of the hardest working people on the planet. They wake up before the sun, they work multiple jobs, they sacrifice sleep, they carry entire families on their back. They are not lazy. So why are they still broke? Well, it's because they're stuck in a cycle that rewards effort, but not leverage. They were taught to trade time for money, not value. They were taught to save money, but not how to multiply it. And yeah, they were taught to stay safe, not to take strategic risks. They're doing everything they were told, but what they were told was outdated or honestly just straight up wrong. They didn't learn how money works, they didn't learn how to build wealth, and they didn't learn how to make money while they sleep. So they work hard, but the system they're in doesn't pay for effort. It pays for results, value, and ownership. That's why you can work 60 hours a week and still stay broke, because in the wrong model, hustle just means burnout, not breakthrough. Imagine two people, both wake up at 6 a.m., both leave home and work till 6 p.m. One is a cleaner earning $25 an hour, the other is a copywriter charging $500 for one email. They both worked, they both put in time, but the value of their time wasn't the same. Why? Because one learned to sell value, the other only knows how to sell time. And the scary part, if you're only selling time, there's a limit to how far you can go. You'll eventually run out of hours, you'll hit a ceiling, and when that ceiling hits, you'll feel stuck. And here's where it gets worse. You'll think the problem is you. You'll say, I must not be working hard enough, so you push even harder, sleep less, rest less, grind more. But guess what? If you're climbing the wrong ladder, it doesn't matter how fast you climb. You're still going in the wrong direction. So let's pause. Because, this is where a lot of people get stuck for life. They believe the lie that hustle alone will save them. They keep showing up for a system that's not designed to reward effort. It rewards leverage. Now, I'm not saying don't work hard. I'm saying work smart first, then work hard. Because effort without direction is just wasted energy. What if, instead of trying to do more with your 24 hours, you learned how to make your 1 hour more valuable? That's the shift. Most people never make it. They stay busy, but broke. And that's not just a money problem, that's an information problem. The rich have different data, different strategies, different mindsets. They ask, how can I create something once that keeps paying me? Who needs this skill I have? How do I get paid more per hour instead of working more hours? The poor say, I just need more hours. I'll work 2 jobs instead of 1. I don't have time to learn. Can you see the trap? So here's your first choice. You can keep thinking like the majority, or you can start moving like the minority. But even after you realize the system is broken, most people still stay stuck, not because they want to, but because the struggle becomes familiar. And that's when it gets dangerous. Because being broke isn't just a situation anymore. It becomes an identity. Let me show you how poverty turns into a pattern and how to break out before it becomes permanent. But before I get to that, if this video hit you in the chest, drop "I'm choosing wealth" in the comment section below. Smash that like button, share this with one person who needs to break free, and subscribe, because we're just getting started. My next point is this: poor is a pattern. Let's be real, poverty doesn't just sit in your bank account, it seeps into your thoughts, your habits, your conversations, your identity. It starts as a situation, but stay there long enough, and it becomes a pattern. Let me paint the picture. You grow up hearing, money doesn't grow on trees, we can't afford that. Rich people are selfish, we're just trying to get by. Those words become normal, they become your default setting, and without even knowing it, you start repeating them. Because now poverty isn't just about not having money, it's about not even being able to imagine having more. That's when the pattern gets dangerous, because once it becomes normal, you stop fighting it. You accept it, you justify it, you even protect it. Now don't get it twisted. Contentment is a blessing, but calling fear simplicity is a trap. If you secretly want more, but you keep shrinking to survive, that's not peace. That's a pattern of poverty disguised as humility. And here's the wild part. Poverty patterns aren't just passed down by money. They're passed down by language, by energy, by the way we react to wealth itself. Think about it. How do you respond when you see someone winning? Do you feel inspired or offended? Do you ask how, or do you just roll your eyes? That reaction is a reflection of your wiring, because poor people aren't just financially broke. They're often emotionally broke too. They've been drained by disappointment, shamed for wanting more, exhausted by survival mode. So they build a life that protects the struggle instead of escaping it. But here's the breakthrough. A pattern can be broken if you recognize it. It's not easy. It takes awareness. It takes new inputs. It takes new conversations. But the moment you realize you've been living on autopilot, you can hit the brakes. You can break the loop. You don't have to keep replaying the same struggle your parents went through. You don't have to wear poverty like it's part of your personality. You are not your circumstances. You are not your bank balance, and you are not your past. You're just someone who hasn't been taught the other path yet, but that changes now. Let me show you exactly what they do differently, and really how you can start making choices like the rich, even if you're broke right now. Let's flip the table now. If broke people are stuck in autopilot, leaking money, reacting to life, what do rich people actually do differently? Here's the crazy part. It's not always about making more money, it's about moving differently. Let me break it down. Rich people buy time. Broke people sell it. Poor people, they trade hours for dollars. Rich people, on the other hand, trade value for dollars. They build systems, not just schedules. A broke person says, "How much will you pay me per hour?" But a rich person, well, they ask, "How much is the problem I solve worth to you?" So it's not about working harder, it's about working smarter. Number 2, rich people learn skills that, pay forever. They invest in high-value skills, not just degrees. They study things like marketing, sales, coding, copywriting, communication, leadership. These are skills that actually open doors, not just look good on paper. Because, once you learn how to solve problems for people, you'll never have to beg for a paycheck again. Number 3, rich people control their money. They track their income, they budget intentionally, and they make their money move like a chessboard. Every dollar has a job, every investment has a goal. They don't wonder where their money went, they tell it where to go. Number 4, rich people invest early, even when it's small. They don't wait for a big break to start investing. They start where they are, with what they have. Even $50 invested consistently can grow. Because, it's not about the amount, it's about the habit. 5, rich people think long term. They're not chasing the next iPhone or the latest drip just to impress strangers. They're thinking, what can I build that pays me 10 years from now? Delayed gratification, that's their superpower. And that's what separates wealth builders from paycheck chasers. So here's the shift. It's not that rich people are born lucky, it's that they make different moves every single day. And the good news, you can start making those same moves right now from exactly where you are. You don't need 6 figures to start moving rich. You need a shift in how you think and how you act. Because when you start moving different, money starts showing up different. All right, let's bring it home. By now, you've seen the full picture. Being broke isn't just about money. It's about the daily decisions you didn't know you were making. It's about the patterns you inherited, but never questioned. It's about the mindset you've normalized that's actually holding you hostage. But here's the beautiful thing. If you chose your way into this life, even without knowing, you can choose your way out. And you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be done with staying stuck. Because poverty feels familiar, but so does pain. And at some point, you've got to ask yourself, am I more committed to comfort or to change? You get to decide. You can keep spending to feel better or start building to live better. You can keep blaming what you didn't get or start creating what you need. You can keep scrolling past success stories or choose to be one. And the truth is, you're not starting from scratch, you're starting from experience, from pain, from lessons, from grit. Which means you're not behind, you're ready. So here's your move. Track your money. Cut what drains you. Start learning what frees you. Build skills. Build assets. Make one decision today that your future self will thank you for. Because this time next year, you'll either be proud or regretful. Either way, it'll come down to the choices you made today. So if nobody's ever told you this before, let me be the first. You have permission to want more. You have permission to break cycles. You have permission to be rich. You just have to choose it. Right now. If you got value from this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. And make sure to check out my other video here for more money tips. You won't want to miss it.